Hello and welcome to Two Mates Race. This is a brand new podcast that has been hosted by myself, Jonny Ashley, and my good friend Ben Brown. Ben, how are you?
Very well, thank you. It's been a long time coming, so it's quite nice to get this done.
Yes, it's very. We've been talking about it for so long, and how we're going to do it, and we've finally found some time to do it. So for those who don't know, myself and Ben, we founded oNiD Community Racing, and we have decided that we wanted to do a podcast not just about oNiD, but all things sim racing and how that reflects into real life racing and everything in between. So Ben, how long have we been doing oNiD Community Racing now?
I think, what is it, just over 4 years?
Yeah.
Over 4 years formally, but before that there was a good year or so doing a lot of sim racing things kind of as a team of people. But yeah, so it's been over, nearly 4.5 years now of oNiD Racing, hosting events, hosting endurance events, taking part in other series by other communities, other official events as well. So yeah, it's been a long time. And so this is probably overdue, to be fair.
It is massively overdue, and we're in a good position. We know a lot about sim racing, and we talk about sim racing all the time. Me and Ben get together at least once a week, and we always talk sim racing. So we thought, let's impart some knowledge and our opinions onto our listeners and onto people who are interested in sim racing. Whether you've been sim racing for many years, or you're looking to get into sim racing, or you don't really know what sim racing is, we will talk you through it. You can come and listen to us. We're hopefully going to do this podcast maybe once or twice a month. It's going to be available on Spotify. It's also going to be available on our Twitch, and it's also going to be available on YouTube as well. So we're looking forward to getting this going. And tonight, Ben, we've got some quite interesting stuff to talk about, haven't we?
Yeah, there's been a lot going on in the world of sim racing over the summer, and there's a few new sims kind of emerging as well. So there's definitely plenty to kind of touch on, really. And the first thing is, obviously, we run a lot of events.
We do.
And we're just coming up to our new season, and it's interesting, the breakdown of what sims we're using at the minute for our events. We've kind of moved from quite a few days being ACC related, a set of Corsa Competizione, and at the minute we've got 3 days dedicated to Le Mans Ultimate, which we'll talk about. But we're really enjoying that, and obviously streaming that on Twitch as well. We've also still got some Assetto Corsa going on. There's such a big community on Assetto Corsa, even now after 15 years or whatever it's been, 10-15 years since its release.
Yeah, ridiculous how that's still going.
Yeah, and the mods and things in place on that sim to make it a little bit more up to date with some of its things. Yes, there's still no rain on it, but graphically you can really make that game look as good as any other sim on the market, which is just remarkable.
Yeah, but you can have rain on it. It just doesn't affect the track status.
Yeah. So visually, it'll look like it's raining, but nothing will actually happen.
I bet a lot of our drivers would prefer that as well.
Yeah, to be fair, the amount of rain that we put in some of our events sometimes can be a bit jarring for some. But yeah, so that we're doing a bit of IndyCar with that, aren't we? We've got three different LMU series with a range of GT3s, hypercars, and also GTE, which is chronically underused, and very much looking forward to that. And then also iRacing as well, so a little bit of iRacing in there too. So there's plenty going on there. I'm taking part in a couple of series. What about you? You're doing one, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm doing our Sunday series on LMU, which is the weekend of GT3 Championship, with the support series that we're doing. It was going to be an LMP2 support series, but you came up with a genius idea, which I can't believe I didn't think of. And actually, we're going to do the support series, which is an hour earlier than what practice is for the GT3 race. It's going to be a mixture of LMU races, ACC races, where we have the same track as what the main GT3 championship's going to be. But it'll be we've got things like GT2s in ACC, GT4s, LMP2 in Le Mans. So yeah, I'm doing the Sunday series, and I think that's it for this season for me. I think I am running the safety car,
Unsafety car, yes.
in the IndyCar series and doing race control. So that should be interesting for the IndyCar ovals.
Yeah, I think there's plenty going on, and I'll get shot if I don't talk about like console side as well, because I've just mentioned the PC side, but there's a few areas on ACC still on crossplay console, so between PS5 and Xbox One, whatever hyphen related number they're on, I can't even remember anymore. So yeah, there's plenty going on across the two, but we're using the Ranger 3 sims, but there's a couple of other things that we kind of want to touch on, really, because those aren't the just only sims out there.
Nope.
And there's a few things that we wanted to discuss, like GridLink. Did you want to have a chat about GridLink, Johnny?
Yes, so GridLink is not live yet, but it will be very, very soon. So GridLink is the brainchild of myself and Steve from SimGrid, and we've thought we wanted to make a community where we use the lesser known sims, which was, for want of a better phrase. So the titles such as, I suppose, Assetto Corsa now kind of falls into that category, because a lot of big communities might not necessarily race Assetto Corsa. AMS2, which is a big one that we're focusing on at GridLink, and also things like Race Room, and depending on what comes down the line as well, whether that be console, Forza, that kind of stuff. There's all different ways we can go through it. So we're making this community that is for the lesser known sims, and we're just going to we've got a board on board. So it's basically a community made by community. So yes, me and Steve are at the helm, but we've offered it out to other communities that we know on SimGrid. We've spoke to a few people, and we've got people on board, and they send people from their community to come and be on the GridLink board. So we've got people like TSRC, Track are involved as well. So we've got 3 or 4 communities that are involved, and basically we're all going to club together. We're going to find a night that is good for everyone and do some racing, but just on those sims. So taking out LMU, taking out ACC, taking out iRacing, because everyone does that really well. We don't want to tread on anyone's toes, but especially in oNiD, Ben, we tried to get AMS2 going all the time.
Yeah.
We just never quite got the numbers to warrant it being a full-time home in oNiD. So the plan is to launch with AMS2, and the focus will be those communities that are involved with us, those communities that we know, will advertise GridLink to their drivers and say, look, we don't do AMS2, but GridLink does. And them drivers will come and join GridLink, and we should, if all goes well, we will have a full grid on AMS2, which will be awesome. And the first championship, and a bit of a spoiler alert, the first championship is probably going to be Ginetta Juniors.
Of course it is.
Yeah, of course it is.
To anyone that doesn't know, Johnny loves a Ginny.
I do. Even so much so, my cat's called Ginny.
Yeah, your cat's called Ginny. I think it's really positive, because we have a lot of. We noticed it when the reason that you went away and talked to Steve about it was we've tried multiple times with series, but also social events as well, and we've had some really good uptake sometimes. But it's difficult to get enough demand for it compared to when we put up things on LMU and ACC, it just fills up. So there's the difference. It is a narrower market. So pulling these different communities together and hopefully keeping the older or less kind of raced sims alive, as it were, especially like Race Room as well. Mm-hmm. We used to have a Race Room series every week.
We did for a long time.
That was well supported initially. until people just stopped running it, and they've put a lot of work in over at Race Room to kind of bring it up to Race Room 2 within Race Room. So it would be a shame if they're not getting supported in that way.
Exactly, and you touch on Race Room there. Actually, I had a go on the. They did for a period of 2 weeks. They put all the content on Race Room for free. And anyone who doesn't know, Race Room is a free game. It's a free game that's been out. God, how long's Race Room been out now? Many years.
Yeah,
10
the first time I raced on it was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think I reckon
it had been
it's
out
probably.
a while then.
Yeah, I think it's probably 8 to 10 years that Race Room has been out, and but what it is it's free. There's no subscription model. There's no nothing. It's free, but the content you have to pay for, and it is reasonable. The pricing is so reasonable. They've got a great model, and they did 2 weeks where they did everything was free. You could try whatever you want. You could race online. And like you said, the changes they've made recently are incredible. The cars feel brilliant. Like the Super Tourers were mental fun. They're the new Super Tourers they've brought in. They've got some older content like the DTM stuff, like pre-GT3 DTMs, which Ben, we'd love. Amazing. The old DTM
Fantastic.
series, absolutely amazing. They've got the old World Touring Car Championship cars, the World TCR Championship on there, and they've got the old LMP stuff. So it's loads of content on there, and even some of their own stuff. The silhouette cars, which was kind of like I don't know, it was a cross between a touring car and a supercar, wasn't it? It was really good, and some of their own tracks and stuff. And there's loads of tracks on there, and it's fantastic, and it's just underused, and I don't think there's a base for it. But there must be players for it. It's still going, so there must be players for it. So we're trying to focus in and hone in on that. Which is going to be good. It's hopefully launching kind of middle of September. We're waiting for people to get back off holiday, so now everyone's back. We're kind of getting that ball rolling, and we will launch with AMS2, and we're looking forward to it. It's something that me and Steve have always spoke about for years. We spoke about, can we make this community by communities? Saying community far too many times there. But it was one of our mad ideas, and we finally kind of said, right, let's do it, let's give it a go. And there's really good people involved, people from oNiD, people from TSRC. Kieran Sharp's on the board. We know Sharpie, we've known Sharpie for many years, knows what he's doing when it comes to setting up events and advertising things. So great to have him on board. So yeah, just really looking forward to getting that going, and that's going to come out, like I said, mid-September. We're going to start with just a social race, probably on a Friday night, and then we're going to move into our first championship, and hopefully that goes really well, and it's something that can grow. Like, I'm not busy enough, but it's why not? Let's give it a go, because I love AMS2, been a big fan of it. It's basically what Project Cars 3 should have been. I know I said the unholy words there.
We don't talk about Project Cars 3.
We don't, no.
We pretend that didn't exist.
Yeah, it's what it should have been. Same engine. Obviously, rates are involved in AMS2, so they've had some really good updates, and it's come a long way since I was running it in OTL back in 5 years ago. It's come a long way. It's just a game that just never quite seems to tickle everyone's fancy, shall we say.
Yeah, which we've always said is a shame because of the range of things on that. Like for instance, when the Rallycross came out on there.
Yeah, fantastic.
I know Rallycross is a bit different because it doesn't need a massive server to be able to run it, But it was chronically underused given how good the Rallycross on there, and I've done quite a bit of Rallycross on other sims like iRacing and things. The Rallycross on AMS2 was amazing, but you just, unless you organised something, you were going to be racing against the AI. So
and it's the same with the stadium trucks they've just bought in.
Yeah, that's the same there.
Yeah, you can have some fantastic racing with the stadium trucks. They've got some great tracks on there, but it's just very niche, just very, very niche. So that's GridLink. That's what GridLink's going to be. That's what I'm kind of focusing on over the next couple of weeks. I've got a great team at oNiD that I can kind of leave to do what they do best, and we're going to focus on GridLink. And I'm just looking forward to it. I'm really excited to get it going. So that's GridLink. What's next then, Ben?
Do you want to talk LMU?
I can talk LMU if you want me to
You want
talk
to talk?
LMU. One of my favourite subjects, and it's because I'm good at
So, I'll before Johnny's going to talk about the updates, but just to give it a bit of a context.
Yep.
It's been 2 seasons now since we moved across to LMU. Effectively, we used to run 3 to 4 ACC PC series any week, and to anyone that runs on a Assetto Corsa Competizione, which I can never say, but I will continue to try. Yeah,
Competizione.
we had really good uptake on there for many years, and the general feeling from the community, etc., was that ACC wasn't as popular. People would still like to do socials and things, but Le Mans Ultimate was really filling that gap of GT3 racing. We really like the GT4s on ACC, but nobody really seems to like them. We had one. Did we have one endurance race, didn't we? We had a Alton Park one, which was all GT4s, and we were really lucky that was really well attended.
Yep.
But in terms of GT4 series, we've always had the same people signing up for it.
Yep.
It's not been a series, it's not a class of car that new people have got involved in. Same with kind of project, the Porsche Cups. It was basically we were just running GT3s because that's what people still wanted. So Le Mans Ultimate have got the GT3 LM cars, which are fantastic.
Brilliant.
Totally different challenge. You can also throw in the hypercars as well, so that's why we made the change. And then they've been developing it more and more, and well, it's in a you can talk about it, Johnny, but it's in a much better state now than when we first started playing around with it a year ago. Yeah,
massive change. And like Ben said, there is some fantastic updates coming, and it's just recently, as of July, hit 1.0 version, so it's hit its full release, which I know there was a few of us that weren't 100% sure if that was going to be the case. It had a feeling of Rennsport when it first came out. It was like, oh no, is it gonna go down that route?
It was never going to be as bad as Rennsport. I don't mind saying Rennsport are probably never going to get spoken about here.
Well, you say that.
I know they're changing the model
but it
recently,
might, because
that's not on our agenda to talk about.
It's coming on console, and we're going to have the console boys on at some point, so they're going to want to talk about it.
Yeah,
they're going to want to talk about it. But you know, a year ago we were. I don't know if it's going to be any good. It's motorsport games. We know the history of motorsport games. Stephen Hood took control of motorsport games. Now Stephen used to work at SimGrid, and everyone kind of went, okay, there's a chance. And gradually they've added things in. Every update they've done, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, all the way through to version 1. And it has just become amazing. And version 1 came out, so the full release came out. They threw in two new cars, I think it was. The
Mercedes,
AMG Mercedes.
Yeah.
Which fantastic, really good GT3 car. And was it the BMW Evo?
No, it was the Valkyrie.
Ah, yes, that loud thing.
Yes, the loud beast.
The loud thing, yes. So the Valkyrie, and they were free. They were free for everyone who had got the game, which was a really nice touch. And it also brought. We've had multiplayer on there for a couple of updates now, and like Ben said, we made the change. February time, I think it was, Ben. We literally
when they were really, it was a lot more stable by that point.
Yes,
in terms of server hosting,
and it had gone through race control, and obviously SimGrid were involved in that. We were on SimGrid. We got the opportunity to run events, and we went away with it, and it's been fantastic. The uptake's been fantastic, and the update that's just come has brought in the one thing that, Ben, we were in a nice privilege that we got a chance to be part of the beta, but we got to try the driver swaps early, and we also are now seeing driver swaps pushed out into official events with the LMU guys, and I think they've been really well received. I know you and Matt did the first one, first official one, and it's the feeling you get is, one, it's so much easier than ACC to do a driver swap.
Yep.
ACC wasn't massively difficult, but it's so much easier. It's got that iRacing feel about it.
Yeah.
The official servers are very good, and I didn't hear of any issues with the servers crashing. Or
Only the first server that went live, so the first time slot
go.
broke. But apart from that, they fixed that immediately. They obviously realised they'd
But
done something wrong, and after that,
they
it was,
were-
absolutely fantastic.
they were there, they were fixing it, they were there sorting it out. And obviously now we've got the next one, which is next Friday, or next weekend. And next Friday we're doing, me and you are doing the 6 hours of Kota. And it just feels that game is going from leaps and leaps and leaps. And we know about the new content that are coming. They've said that ELMS is coming. So that's Silverstone, Barcelona are coming. The LMP3 cars are coming, which I am so excited for. Do you know why?
Go on.
There's a Janetta.
Of course there is. But it's something that we've done on iRacing before. Like few of the team members have done LMP3s before, and I've done them before, and I really enjoyed them. So it's really nice to see the updated versions come into LMU.
Yeah, and the good thing that's coming is there's so much content that can come to LMU. So much content. You know, we know we've got ELMS coming, which is LMP2, LMP3, GT3s. We know there's 2 new tracks coming, or even more than that. But we know there's Silverstone. We know of Barcelona that's coming, which is going to be amazing. But it goes down the line of, well, we could have ALMS, which is Asia Le Mans Series. So there's going to be some Asian tracks that will come into play. But also, Ben, which is I'm really excited for. We're going in a few weeks, aren't we, to watch ELMS at Silverstone?
Yes.
And the one thing I'm really excited for is the Ligier series.
Anything on that, and in theory, anything on that undercard or support series or whatever you want to call it, could end up in LMU, and that's kind of what ACC did with their license with SRO.
Yes.
Because they ended up with the GT2 cars, the GT4 cars, Porsche Cups, etc. But LMU's already going a little bit past that by introducing ELMS.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting if they bring in the Asia Cup thing stuff, and you've also got, you could bring in some of the American tracks and series as well.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of opportunities for motorsport games to really flex a little bit with the licenses and really build a massive portfolio of content, really.
Yeah, and that Ligier Cup series is a single spec race car that's been made by Ligier just for racing. It's not a road car; it's just a race car.
Yeah.
If that comes to LMU, it's already on AMS2, and on AMS2, they are good fun. If they can get it right on LMU, there is so much they can go for. And when does that then? Because IMSA's not tied to anyone, really.
No, it's not. There is technical links to WEC. So you have the same technical hypercar and GT3 car specifications. So in theory, yes, there's definitely some crossover there. IMSA does have something with iRacing, I think.
AMS2.
And AMS2, so it wouldn't be
like
an exclusive one, but I mean, you can see by the amount of hypercars that are ending up on other sims, for instance, at the minute. There's a lot, like Project Motor Racing. I nearly said Motorsport. Project Motor Racing has a couple of the hypercars on there as well. So just because something is somewhere else does not mean it's not going to be able to go on Le Mans Ultimate.
Exactly, and I think, if it keeps growing like it does, could we see Daytona? Could we see, like you said, the American tracks? Could we see all that stuff? And I think we can. I think if it gets it right, I think it'll have longevity like ACC did for the next few years, which I think will be awesome. We did touch on it a little bit, and I think it's probably a good time to veer from LMU. We were talking about IMSA, so. Ben, should we talk about the old iRacing updates?
Oh my god, this iRacing from being a bit of a meme, at times, the old ice racing meme, has managed to not only make their tyre model a lot better and still realistic and difficult, but a lot more drivable. To then this week they've confirmed not only is the new UI coming to finally bring iRacing, and I've seen the screenshots and things, looks excellent.
Good. Does look good.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
Even bigger than that, they've announced this week the relationship with Cosworth. So to anyone that doesn't know, Cosworth have this amazing kind of data analysis toolbox, and it's going to be made available in conjunction with iRacing to basically mean that a lot like Delta does with the Coach Dave stuff, with some of the, and Garage 61, to anyone that's used Garage 61, pulls a lot of telemetry out, but this will be a live telemetry tool effectively, so you'll be able to review previous telemetry, but like you can with other things, but you'll also be able to have teams checking telemetry as you go through, etc., which is just
incredible,
totally new. That's real world racing. That's not what sim racing currently has. There's no sim. Maybe I'll get corrected somewhere, but there's no sim that currently does live telemetry the same as that. We've seen some live timing telemetry and things like that, but nothing to this degree. So having that on board, and also bringing in some of the Cosworth brands materials, so increases in data around engine performance, fuel performance, also bringing in a few cars. Honestly, that really caught me by surprise, actually, that one. We knew the new UI was coming, but I hadn't seen that this was coming.
No.
And it's really, to anyone that's interested, they've got if you go to the iRacing YouTube channel, they've got a really good explainer as to what everything does on there. So really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and there's nothing like a good old Northampton company in Cosworth to be involved in iRacing. Keep it local.
And whenever I have to go to the post office depot, it's literally opposite, so it's always quite nice. And just to expand on what iRacing are already doing, aside from bringing in some new cars and things like the Ford Mustang GT4s coming, and some further refinements to tyre physics and things like that, they're also announced in the last week or so that, well, they already had NASCAR, the standalone NASCAR game for console. Is that coming to PC or is it just console?
It's coming to both. It's coming to both. It's coming to PC later, but it is coming to both.
Yeah. So obviously people might be like, well, iRacing's already got NASCAR. Yes, but iRacing NASCAR is a hardcore sim. It's a hardcore sim. It's proper real to life sim, and this is a bit of a toned down version for the
plebs.
the wider market. Don't let our team hear you say that. So that's really exciting. But then I sent you the link the other day about IndyCar.
Yep.
So there's finally going to be an IndyCar game for the first time in 10 years.
Yes,
IndyCar standalone game.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And they've also got the dev team behind Circuit Superstars to do iRacing Arcade as well.
Which, by the way, is coming to oNiD.
Yeah. We've done Circuit Superstars on stream before. We've done it on stream before.
Yes, we did.
So it's more like the kind of chase cammy, like what was it? The kart version. What was the Circuit Superstars kart version? It was more with the chase cam. Anyway, it's going to be more like that. That looks really fun as well. Kart Superstars, whatever it was called. But this is on proper tracks. I mean, that would be great. Like that it's filling a niche in the market at that point, I think.
Yes.
And
it's a way of getting iRacing on consoles, isn't it?
Yeah. iRacing are definitely finally using all this income that they've made since COVID, where their user base massively balloons from the increase in sim racing. It's great to see, actually. So,
and you think
there's so much coming.
You think about Junior's impact on things as well. You know, Junior has a massive hand in iRacing, and you think of where Junior is. He's obviously got Dirty Mo Media as well at the minute, and he runs a lot of the NASCAR podcasts. It's all through his media. He's also got his teams, isn't he, in NASCAR? And also
Yep.
he's got his, the big Earnhardt series that was on Prime recently, about his
Well, it's
dad. And
like,
obviously he's at the forefront of, I wouldn't say he's at the forefront of world motorsport at the minute, but he's certainly getting that name out there more often. And to know he's involved in
absolutely.
iRacing, he's going the right way, he knows where he needs to be in the market. He's a very clever businessman.
Yeah, and the whole iRacing thing is their user base is so large. Um, it is effectively the biggest kind of sim, really. Definitely from a revenue point of view because of their business model. But the thing, even things like they're pushing the limits with kind of pro and esports and streams and things like their eNASCAR stuff. I don't know if you've watched much of it, Johnny, but I watch it nearly every week. Yeah, I watch name drop. I watch Matt Malone do his kind of over the top commentary of it.
Yeah.
Pretty much every week, unless they bloody crash into each other and it's finishing at 3 a.m. Then I kind of have to go to sleep to go to work in the morning. But yeah, it's things like that, and the tools, because we've been streaming iRacing on a Thursday since pretty much the start of the year, isn't it? I think, and the tools that you can get around that as well. It's just all. The package there is fantastic. Obviously, you pay for it, but yeah, it's. I'm really interested to see what else they've got coming and how these three separate titles do, because I hope that they're all kind of a success. We don't want a repeat of NASCAR. What was it?
Yes.
Heat 4. Which one was the broken one? The
Um,
Motorsport Games one.
which one was it? We played 5.
Yeah, there was the Motorsport Games one, which was Motorsport Games. This is the previous version of Motorsport Games, but the
What was it
the
called?
NASCAR game then was pretty bad.
Oh, what was
So
it?
hopefully it
I'm
won't be.
I'm googling.
Yeah, he's on the Google, but there's some issues with that, and so I'm hoping that they can make it. They don't rush anything. NASCAR's later this year, IndyCar's next year, and I think Arcade's also next year. So
Yeah, I'm gonna find it. I've got to find it. Hold fire.
it's like waiting music.
NASCAR Ignition.
That was the one.
NASCAR 21. We haven't had a game since 2021. My God.
I think it released in 22 though, didn't it? With the 21 lineups or something, because it was so delayed.
October 28th,
right?
21 it launched.
Oh wow!
On PS4,
I've really
Xbox
tried to push
One,
that out of
Windows.
my brain.
Yeah, and it was done by Motorsport Games. And then they did a Switch version of NASCAR Heat. So Motorsport Games took on NASCAR Heat for one Switch.
Yeah, I think Motorsport Game, that was the final nail in the coffin for them, wasn't it? Because they had the cancelled British Touring Car game as well. So yeah. Anyway, we've gone off track. That was iRacing. Loads of things on iRacing though. So we're doing more and more on iRacing. I think in terms of a lot of our team, we don't have that. A low percentage of our team do iRacing compared to other things.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that there's definitely not a good audience for it within the community, and a lot of fans of it. iRacing is always slightly different when it comes to communities because their offerings in terms of daily racing is so good.
Yes.
It's not like ACC AC, Race Room and AMS2, which are very community based.
Yes.
iRacing's actual primary platform is so good that the only reason that you really do the community based stuff is to try and get some cleaner racing in.
Yeah, and I was actually going to touch on that. Was they still suffer from the age old open lobby syndrome that every sim struggles with.
Yeah.
And you do find a lot of people who want more rigid structure.
Yeah,
Stewarding
that was
rules.
always my problem. That was always my problem
Yeah.
with LFM. I did LFM for a couple of seasons, and I really enjoyed it, especially the AC stuff. Actually, did a whole season of a couple of those. But some of the driving standards, if you were in a lobby where you knew the people, you knew you were going to have a good race. But then you go into another lobby and you'd be like, oh no, not this guy again, and that
just turns you off.
Difference to it was you just get into the same arguments after the race
with the same people. Yeah. same bullshit, different day. And
Yeah.
I've never been one, apart from when me and you used to race a lot of grid online all
Yeah.
them years ago.
Oh, God.
I didn't really like online racing in public lobbies for that exact reason, and it wasn't until COVID came that I found a community to go and racing, because I wanted to race that more kind of structured, and then we made oNiD and went forward from there. But before we move on to what's next on our list, because we have a list and we're very professional, I actually do want to touch on motorsport games, and it's an opinion more than anything else. And it's something I know me and you have discussed, actually, Ben.
Yeah.
I've just noticed with the video, you'll see on this video, it looks like my family are having a rave in the fucking front room behind me. It's ridiculous. There's lights everywhere. I don't know what they're watching. It's quite funny.
You've obviously got too big a TV, Johnny. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
too big a TV.
Not what they say about big TVs. I don't know what they say about big TVs. Anyway, we're going well off track. Motorsport games, and we have spoke about this, Ben. We have. Me and you have spoke about it, and I've spoke to many people in the community about it. Now, they have race control at the minute, which runs all of Le Mans Ultimate. So if you want to do an event, you can do it through race control or SimGrid. It runs the same system. As LMU subscriber, I have the full Race Control Pro Plus subscription, which entitles me to RF2 content. Question: will RF2 ever be on Race Control?
Well, there's a new track coming to RF2
today. I think.
Today.
Yeah,
Zolder.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have discussed it, and for those that don't know the history, RF2 is kind of the reason that Johnny's addicted to sim racing nowadays, because I kind of introduced him to a bit of that at Simply Race.
Yep.
And I spent a lot of time on R Factor 2. R Factor 2 very much had its issues, let's say, but some of the latest content over the last few years, official content like the touring car with the hybrid system, yep, and all the British tracks on the calendar, all laser scanned, are fantastic. So I personally think, like LFM have tried, and it didn't really work.
No, but
R Factor put dailies in. They
yeah,
even had online stuff, and that didn't work. But
with
if they put race control in with the same controls,
this is my point,
then why not?
Because obviously last week Motorsport Games completed the purchase of Studio 397, didn't they? And R Factor.
Yeah.
So they officially own it now.
Yeah, and if you're an RC Pro, as you mentioned, is it RC? It's RC Pro, isn't it?
RC
I've got
Pro,
it as
yeah.
well.
You get all that content.
You get all the content.
So
and that
would
doesn't
they
include all the mods and things, but you get all the licensed content
yes,
that you could quite easily, in theory, put across onto the same infrastructure, because it's using a lot of the same code.
This is what I'm saying. I think they would be remiss if they didn't.
If they don't, I would have to assume that there's some fundamental large differences between the two sims.
Yes.
And that Race Control and R Factor are just not compatible without a huge amount of work that they don't want to do because of the costs associated with it. That would be the only reason not to do it.
But my question is,
yeah,
then why put it as a addition to Race Control Pro?
Because they can.
I know they can, but there must be a reason. If they've already done the research and they thought, do you know what, we're going to put this in, people might get in touch with RF2, not knowing that the public don't know that we're going to bring RF2 to Race Control in 12 months' time.
But if they're going to do that, why wouldn't they have R Factor 3 and use the same engine that LMU uses? Because let's be real, the what was it described as, spaghetti code for R Factor 2 is pretty bad from what I've heard in terms of modding, etc. And I've tried to do server things before, and it's a nightmare. The physics are wonky and broken in many ways. So why not then just use the engine they've just done for LMU to make RF3 and port across the same content?
If they do that, even if they bought RF2 to race control, or made RF3 in the next 12, 18 months, 2 years, that would be an oNiD quicker than you know what to do with.
Yeah, because we'd be running touring cars every week.
Correct.
It wouldn't even
Tuesday
be a
nights
decision.
would be touring car night.
Yeah, it would be like, well, smashing. We've got because the touring car mods on RF2, the licensed stuff's really good, but some of the you can get paid content through third parties.
Yeah.
Some of that's really good.
Yeah.
So which we've used before.
Alpine Cups.
We've used
all
some
day.
of that. Yeah, Alpine Cups.
So good.
There's quite a few good licensed products on there. Outside of, I think what's my favourite mod, the 93, 92, 93 F1 mod that there's on Steam Workshop is so good.
Yeah.
It's better than
just has a Grand Prix 2 vibe.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it feels like I'm driving Grand Prix 2, Grand Prix 3 kind of thing. So, you know what? If I hope they do it, but I would probably think they're going to do it more in a R Factor 3. I'd be quite happy to be
wrong,
corrected on that. Be wrong. But if for anyone that's done a driver change event on RF2, there is a reason that Le Mans, when they ran the Le Mans 24 on R Factor, they did it for a couple of seasons, and how many issues did they have?
Oh yeah,
like constant issues, constant red flags,
so much so they did a lot of it in person.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it'd be a shame, but that was just a little. I know that wasn't on our list, but it just got me thinking.
I like that one.
You know, maybe, you never know. Moving on. Talking about a sim with lots of different classes of car in is Project Motor Racing. Now, Project Motor Racing has got me certainly excited because it is from the creator of Project Cars 2, Ian Bell, and he's got a team together to make Project Motor Racing. And what we've seen of it so far, Ben, looks really, really quite promising.
Yeah, I think we finally started to get some more details. Was it Gamescom? Last week. Yep. And we finally started to get some more details. And it already looked interesting, but we've really started to see some of the physics and some of the expanded list of cars and items on there, haven't we?
Yes, there is lots of historic cars as well as the new hypercars we've seen, some GT3 cars, and it certainly has a Project Cars 2 vibe to it with the amount of content that's going to be on there. There's plenty. I think it's something like 28, 29 variations of track, and it's coming. It's not doing this beta thing. It's doing a what did they call it? A driver program where you can test it out, but we won't talk about that because I'm really quite grumpy with them.
Okay.
But they've got people that's coming in to help with the testing of the physics and stuff over the next kind of few weeks. But we know that it's coming towards the end of the year, and it's going to be really good. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be. We don't know. It's yet to be seen whether it's going to be drivable as a community sim. That's what we're waiting to find out. We don't know anything about the multiplayer really yet.
Yeah, and that's been I would put it more in the niche sim kind of category. When you're thinking about new sims coming up, you can put that and AC Evo kind of alongside. And what was it originally? It was going to be GT Revival, was it? It was called
GT Revival, yes.
GT Revival. So it was like loads of like old school GT cars, which I think all of us would love to see.
Yep.
And then they've kind of expanded the licenses out and got some more things in, which is fantastic because it's definitely moving it away from such a niche product to more of a mainstream product. Yep. I'd still say it's on the niche side. But
it is. It's very much. They've announced LMDH, GT3, GT4, GT, which is like GT Open, the NGT, the old LMP stuff. So you kind of the Audi, the old Audi LMP. GT
Yeah,
ones,
2000s, yeah.
yeah, Group C, sports cars, 70s, and then track wise, it's kind of you've got Zolder, Spa, the Nordschleife, the Nürburgring 24. There's a track on Northampton. It really confused me. It's obviously Silverstone, but they've just called it
Yeah.
Northampton. I was like, hey. I was like,
have we got another track?
Rockingham? No.
Wilton Mill.
Wilton Mill, yeah. Lime Rock, Canadian Motorsports, which will be amazing. It's a great track. Bathurst.
Yes.
Kyle Army, which is, again, another great track. And then there is some in South America to come as well, and I wonder whether there's a little bit of a rights crossover there. Maybe get some nice South American tracks, because there is some absolute belters. So yeah, it's there or thereabouts. It's obviously already it's going to be ready for launch at its version 1 state in November. So it's going to be really interesting. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to play it. I'm going to give it a go and see where we are. But like I said, there's so many unknowns about it. Ben Collins is in it, which is always a winner. Anyone who used to go and watch, obviously know him as a Stig, but if they used to go and watch the ASCAR at Rockingham, I know you did, Ben.
Yep.
We'll remember him in the Army car. Bit of a legend. So it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. And I think it's got potential if they get the multiplayer right, because it's got this farm simulator engine, so
Yes.
it's a purpose-built engine. It's not like ACC with Unreal, or it's a purpose-built engine that no one's used. It's got potential to be fantastic. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm obviously we've already started to have a bit of feedback from people that have tested it and things. And the general feedback is good from an early access kind of point of view. Our main question is, what can we do multiplayer wise? Because yes, we know it's going to have a career mode, which is excellent, and I do think that's a feature that's missing from quite a few sims. That they gear more towards the quick racing hot lap kind of and online
nothing
features,
touches Project Cars 2's.
Yeah, the Project Cars 2 career mode was fantastic, but from our point of view, we are interested in what kind of server support it's going to have. Is it going to be peer-to-peer like AMS2 and Project Cars used to be, or is it going to be more going down the hosted server line? I think what I would predict some community nights that first week or two when it's come out at oNiD, because we'll be testing it within an inch of its life, I'd like to say.
And what we haven't mentioned,
work out what we can do,
and what we didn't mention, is the crossplay between PC and console. It's the first one to do that. Which
it's been baffling to me that that's not a thing, because in more Sims, why isn't is it literally the cost of doing it, or is it because some Sims... Forza did it, but that was with concessions that the PC port was quite limited compared to what it potentially could have been.
Yes.
And like ACC always said that the differences between builds, for instance, were too great that they couldn't have PC and console. There was some technical limitations with frames and latency and things on the console that would mean that they couldn't do crossplay. But with the state of how refined the engines are now to run these sims, so many games have crossplay on them.
Yep.
So why doesn't sim racing have crossplay?
Yeah,
like I was literally playing the Battlefield 6 beta.
Yeah.
The other week, had crossplay on it.
Yeah. Well, Call of Duty it's had crossplay.
Call of Duty's had crossplay in it for years.
Quite some time, yeah.
I think the only thing was Wreckfest, I think, has crossplay.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
But if you had it on Game Pass, you couldn't cross-play with anyone who had it on Steam.
That's right. Yeah, which is just
ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, the crossplay is a huge thing for us because we have an Xbox and PS side. We have the PC side, so we'll be able to run larger events, as a whole. So that'd be really nice.
And now moving on then to Ben's going to talk a little bit. We're both going to talk about it, but something that we've been involved in the last week certainly is AC Evo's 0.3 release of the early access.
Yeah, it's more context about AC Evo. Obviously, initially, the initial release didn't go down particularly well with the community and those
Yeah.
that had decided to delve into early access. I think early access was a relatively new thing for many sim racers. Only really LMU and AC Evo have been doing it. But yeah, 0.3's out, and I have to say, I was trying it yesterday, and it has definitely come a long way since 0.1. Only did a little bit on 0.2, but the changes, so they're trialing. If you're on their Discord or on their communications, you can get access to the 0.3 beta access. No, it's not technically. Is it technically a beta? It's an open beta, isn't it?
Open
At
beta,
that point,
yeah.
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 So, but yeah, multiplayer. So thanks to SimGrid, we've had a couple of servers, and a few other communities on SimGrid have had a couple of servers. I was playing around in an LFM server last night as well. So realistically, it's not that much. It's obviously on a totally new engine, but they've definitely taken a lot of the same things from ACC and expanded on them for the multiplayer. So it feels lovely now. You do obviously. People might not agree, but with a bit of work on feedback settings, and I spent about half an hour just playing around with it and got something quite nice that wasn't just full feedback all the time, and getting those peaks and troughs you'd expect to be able to feel through the wheel. So they've done quite a lot of work with the physics and the tyre model in that sense. It's definitely upgraded to where it was. The UI now kind of works as well, which is nice. The multiplayer, it's capped at 16 drivers at the minute, but that's expected to go up quite a lot. I think, was it? I can't actually remember the real number, but we had 50 on ACC for
I think
most tracks, and then some tracks we had more. So
I think you'll probably see 36 to 50, and I think on bigger tracks you'll probably see more.
yeah,
It's just depending on how the servers react and so on and so forth. Because obviously, what we do know is that it's not going to be on server.exe files. We know it's going to come in a kind of the same manner as Le Mans Ultimate, where you purchase and rent servers as you need them, which has caused a little bit of uproar with people that want to do the time attack stuff, or I want to do a 24-hour Nordschleife. Just take a car around and keep it alive for 24 hours. Well, you can do that. You just have to pay for 24 hours worth of server time.
It's I understand why some people are unhappy about it, because ACC was server based, like user side servers. AC, with the amount of mods there as well, that was all user side as well. So from a business point of view, and also a quality of service point of view, I can understand why they want to have this kind of controlled server nature, because we've both done events on ACC, for instance, where the servers were awful. We've had it, and I turned up to, like, we spent 2 weeks prepping for an endurance event. We turned up, their server was not at a standard that was able to run it. We spent 3 hours dilly-dallying around, and then the event was cancelled. So all that time had been a waste. That's, if you've seen that side, then you'll be happy-ish with them being able to do it all their side. With no problems from that for me, as long as we're still able to run the events how we want them to. But yeah, it's interesting seeing the custom server browser is a lot the same as ACC. But I think what we're kind of waiting for now is they've talked about the daily racing portal.
Yes.
And I haven't seen the daily racing, but I've seen like the screenshot of it. But I'm interested what they do with that, because that will really increase the exposure of AC Evo, I would say.
Yes, I agree. And obviously there's lots of... This is only the first phase of multiplayer. We've seen netcode issues. Jimmy Broadbent had an amazingly hilarious one. There's always going to be these little bugs at the start of the multiplayer. What we don't know about multiplayer is the exact numbers we're going to be able to run, what we're going to be able to run.
Yeah.
Driver swaps, we don't know.
Which is big for us from ACC,
Huge.
because ACC was our bread and butter, was endurance events.
Yes.
We were running them every month at one point.
Exactly.
Pretty much every month. So
whether that's going to be, I would think they'll bring driver swaps, but whether that's at the forefront of their mind, because they're not the leading driver swap thing at the minute.
Yep.
LMU is going to be leading the way for that. So whether they're like, okay, we're just going to take our foot off the gas a little bit on that one, let them have their time with driver swaps and give us more time to get it right. We don't know that. But me personally, I did a race in a week and it felt good. It felt heavy, which is, if you drive a car, your car feels heavy. Through the steering wheel, it doesn't necessarily feel light. So it felt good. It felt like you could really feel the tyres. It changed your driving style massively. You kind of go into it with the LMU mentality or the ACC mentality, and the amount of people that were just going off.
Yeah.
It makes you change your driving style. There's a good amount of content at the minute. Disappointing for me is there's not enough racing content for me.
Yeah.
We've got the MX-5 Cups. Yeah, we've got the V6 Lotus V6s. We've got the MX-5s, like I said. There is cars out there, but there's there'll be more to come on that front, and I think it will give us a good variation of what we can do. And if they bring driver swaps into multiplayer and they bring endurance racing into it, the big thing certainly for me, and I know Ben, you feel exactly the same way, is okay, I want to do a Lotus V6 endurance race. Why not?
Yep. KM7s.
Yeah, and this is why you could do brick car. You could do anything.
Absolutely.
And this is what touching on iRacing again. iRacing is leading the way in that factor, because you can, if you want to, and it's something we haven't done. I know we've talked about it, and it might come next year. Is an iRacing endurance race, but it's not going to be GT3. It's going to be production car challenge type race, which I think will be fantastic. And I think that's where they'll, outside of iRacing is its own thing, isn't it? iRacing, it does what it does. It doesn't compare itself to anyone else. It doesn't really care about anyone else. It does what it does, and it does it well. In the kind of rest of the sims, if AC Evo get it right, they'll be back at the top very quickly from where they were with ACC.
Yeah, and that, I think the one area that they've definitely improved is that kind of offline mode.
Yep.
They've got the kind of medals for the training things. They've got what's coming with the open world around the Nordschleife. Both of those are fantastic, and should they be able to deliver them, I think that's enough on its own to justify getting AC Evo. But for those people that want to be able to continue the online racing, if it's not there, people aren't going to move from Assetto Corsa. People will just keep on running the same mods on Assetto Corsa and just modding on there.
Yep.
So they really need to make sure that they've kind of taken that into account. And so I would hope that driver changes come, because we've had a bit of a gap in our endurance races. And we're waiting for Le Mans Ultimate to be at a point where it's released.
Yep.
So that we can do our first one in 4 months, whatever it is, 5 months.
Yep.
On there, but we'd also like AC Evo, especially if we can do more of the club / production car racing, and maybe do some, like having a Mini Cooper 3-hour enduro around Donny or something, with a driver swap. Oh, how good was that? 24 hours, anyone? Yeah. So, but there's so many things it opens up, and we will be brutally honest in that I think both of us feel the same way, in that iRacing, while it does that stuff, sometimes the audience doesn't care because they're really there for other things. Yes. And also it can be quite cost prohibitive when it comes to a lot of people don't do iRacing because of the costs associated with it. They might have a free thing and go through with the MX-5s and whatever else, sort of the basic ovals and things like that. But if you really want to get into it, I don't even want to know how much I've spent on iRacing. It is a ridiculous amount of money. And the only way I justify it to myself is that I've had iRacing for 7 years or something. That's the way I justify it. But for a one-off event that maybe is in a car that nobody's going to use again, maybe a track that no one's going to use again, all of those different team members that are going to need it, that's where AC Evo and LMU kind of excel, in the sense of it's that one upfront cost in many ways, with maybe some DLC costs for a wider, like it's not costing $10-12 a car or whatever it is on iRacing. So that's the reason we haven't done too much on iRacing, I would say. That's why we've done limited amounts of things. And why we've kind of pulled it in slowly. But AC Evo, get that multiplayer right. And right now, the multiplayer is, when...
Not many miles away, is it?
It's no. Like, the servers were a bit precarious because it's in the beta, and the servers were struggling a little bit last night.
Also, everyone dived on it on day one and killed the servers.
Yes. But the actual handling and the racing... excellent, and I can really see how that's, hopefully they progress that on, because we'd really like to do some AC Evo stuff. And there's some really, really interesting cars already on there, and cars that are coming, like that little Fiat 500 is so much fun to drive. It's fantastic. Can we please have a series of that, like ASAP? It's going to be
I know Ben Myatt's going to listen to this. And he resisted the urge, because I tasked him with getting our servers up and running for the open beta, and he resisted the urge of doing an Abarth 500 server. So I know for a fact that obviously Ben will be running the AC Evo stuff. I know for a fact we will have that. If not the first, we'll definitely within the first 2 series we run will be that little Fiat 500. Fantastic. And I think with all these things, LMU does what it does well. ACC did what it does, and still does well. People are still racing it, not to the mass extent they were, but they still are. iRacing does its thing well. AC Evo has a chance to be better than everything, because it will have many disciplines. And we've said it all along, and I've said it on the oNiD vodcast, I've said it on the oNiD Arms in the last 18 months, when we knew AC Evo was coming. To get the driver swaps, the multiplayer, and the content right, they will rule everything outside of iRacing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because of the range of things they can put on there, especially with it being their own engine now as well. It's their own built engine to run the game. So if they've got that right from a kind of baseline point of view, then it really does open up so many doors to them. Get that multiplayer right. Everything else is lovely, but multiplayer is going to add that longevity to it, I think. Yes,
I do. I think it'll be really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes over the next few months. Plenty going on in the sim racing world. And it's probably time, Ben, for us to draw to a close of our first two mates race episode.
You came up with the name and you can't even say it.
I know, it's ridiculous. But we're coming to the end of the episode. It's been really good to talk. It's been really good to get together and actually have a conversation and talk. We talk all the time outside of in the open world, in the real world. But it was just nice to get it onto a podcast, and hopefully all of you that have listened, thank you for getting this far, and thank you for tuning in. We will be back. Likely the week after ELMS. And I think the next episode's going to be not heavily ELMS, but we will talk about what we saw that weekend, and there'll be some comparisons with the likes of LMU and things like that. And so really looking forward to that one. While you're at it, go and check out our website, which is oNidracing.com. get onto the Discord, come and join us. You can also join our SimGrid page, SimGrid / Community Racing. Come and get involved. Come and do some racing in Season 5. If you can't get in Season 5, we'll do plenty of socials. Like I said, on the Sunday socials, there'll be some socials going on there. Come and get involved in GridLink as well once that launches. And just come and do some sim racing. It's fun. It's great. We have a great community. We have good banter. It's a really, really nice place to be. Thank you to everyone involved in oNiD as well. We've got some partners as well, likes of Racing Stronger as well. If you need to get involved, go to racingstronger.com. If you want any advice on mental health, or you just want somebody to talk to you about your passion for sim racing and mental health, you can also go to racingstronger.com and read up on that and join their Discord as well. As for that, thank you very much. It's been a great evening recording this, Ben. I hope wherever you're listening to, whatever time of day it is, you've enjoyed listening to us. Ben, thank you for producing this as well, and we'll see how
we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. Yeah, I'm going to go and work out how to produce this and hopefully get it down to a T for the second episode. So, yeah, it's as Jonny said, it's nice to just have a chat because we chat all the time anyway. So it's nice to have that chat in front of all of you. So,
and more episodes. There'll be guests. There'll be all different kinds of things. I might even task Ben with getting some videos of the LMS in there as well. He'll love me for that.
Thanks.
You never know.
Yeah, great.
Right, thank you very much for listening. I'm Jonny Ashley, and my co-host has been Ben Brown. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again very soon.
Cheers.